Welcome to Iowa City Community School District. In December of 2022, a seed of innovation was planted. What if we could extend the integration of educational technology outside of the walls of a traditional classroom and use a highly interactive technology to increase engagement, encourage teamwork, and provide opportunities for cross-curricular learning to students through their PE classes?
Our district is comprised of 5 different municipalities around the Johnson County area. And so we serve students that live in North Liberty, Iowa City, Coralville, University Heights, and Hills. We have approximately 14,000 students, PK through 12. We are here in Hawkeye Country in Big Ten with the University of Iowa, and so we have a lot of students that come from all over the country and in fact all over the world.
In terms of audiovisual solutions for our physical education teachers, prior to our adoption of the LU, we had sort of the Wild West. It was a topic that we knew we needed to address. We needed to identify funding to address that, and then also identify a really high quality solution to be able to address the challenge of some gymnasiums in our district had ceiling mounted, fully integrated large format projectors with audio systems. Other gymnasiums in our district had very little or nothing. Basically wheel out a projector on a card if you need it, and that's what you're able to use. And to us, that wasn't an acceptable solution. Again, it speaks to our commitment to equity and equitable programming within the district. We needed to make sure that all of our schools had access to a really high quality solution.
Probably the biggest problem that we've had or issue that we faced is that people forget that the gymnasium is our classroom. And so we're usually one of the last places that receive any type of technology because we don't have desks, we don't have smart boards. And so they forget that there are things we can do to include technology into our lessons and use with children.
Like one of the big initiatives that we have across the district is really trying to ensure that we have access to technology. And I think probably others can relate. One of the challenges we faced during COVID was just the supply chain issues. So I know that was kind of a big challenge as we tried to ramp up some of the access to technology to be able to get that stuff installed into classrooms. Just kind of threw a wrench into the equation a little bit. But one of the other things is just kind of that the timeliness, because we are a big district. We can't necessarily go full scale and install everything across the district all at once.
I noticed that students were highly engaged in the platform. Obviously, there's a social emotional component that is involved with it, having to take turns, being patient, being a good sport, those types of things, as well as just the engagement with the various games that are available. Teachers being able to bring students into the space, it feels like just one more access point for students to wrestle with content. Whether or not it's physical education or whether it's science or social studies or just any of the content areas that could be integrated.
I think what attracted us to LU is knowing that our students learn in multiple ways. Sometimes they have preferred ways of learning, but we all know that we have multiple modes of being able to learn and be able to advance our knowledge. And so what the LU really offers us the ability to do is to channel into all of those different learning styles of our students and learning preferences of our students, and not just to rely on any one.
Anytime you implement the LU Interactive Playground in a gymnasium, a huge piece of that is the professional development that you're going to give your teachers that are using the system every day. So whenever I work with a district and we talk about the LU, I always say, you need the professional development to go with it, so it doesn't become, a large projector just hanging on your ceiling and projecting on the wall, that it becomes part of that classroom management piece that they use every single day to keep their students engaged.
Sometimes we think about school, and especially those of us who went to school a long time ago, we think about it as like, oh, you're doing math now, and oh, you're doing gym class now, and that sort of thing. It doesn't need to be limited in that fashion. And the LU is a platform that is designed with that sort of cross-curricular integration, in mind. So when our students are in PE class, having fun, running around, throwing balls, whatever, they can also be, reinforcing math concepts.
So yeah, Alex and I walked all 21 of our schools, our elementary schools. It's 22 elementary gyms. One of our schools is a little bit bigger, it has a second gym. We went into each space, took measurements. Some of them are more challenging than others. have to take into consideration natural lighting, wall space. Some of the gyms are pretty small. We have basketball hoops, climbing walls, ropes, climbing ropes in the way. So we kind of went through that initial walk and identified where we thought would work best. Once we went through that process, we brought in a brand ambassador from Lou, Ben Wells, and Alex down to our board, and we did a board presentation where Lou actually had our board members at the board kind of going through the Lou system for one of the apps, which was really fun. After that, once the approval was submitted and our purchase order was submitted, we went ahead and got 1 unit shipped to us. We installed that and started introducing it to our teachers.
As we talked about, using it for stations, using it when students come in to instantly engage them, to do warm-ups, to work on. One thing we did was soccer. This could be a station where they're working on soccer or they're doing basketball, where you don't, if I'm in a gym that doesn't have 6 basketball hoops, now I have another one. If I don't have soccer goals, now I have the ability to do that here. And it's again, we've just barely tapped into what's possible. And so I'm really excited to see, as the school year goes on, how we use it and expand on what's available.